Hey everyone, welcome to today's webinar. I am Jen. I'm part of the PhotoBiz Passionate Support team. Here at PhotoBiz, I'm one of the people that you get to talk to when you call our awesome Passionate Support line. And I'm so excited to get to present this information to you guys today. 10 things every website should have. As we get calls coming in through our Passionate Support line, there are certain things that we have noticed on people's websites that we think are terribly pertinent to your website, and we thought we'd put together this webinar to let you know and have like a little checklist for you to go through your website and make sure you have these 10 things that we think that every website should have. So let's just jump right on in and talk about the first thing. Name and contact information. So this seems kind of obvious. Of course you want to have your name and contact information on there, but you would be surprised how many people do not have their name and contact information on their website. It's very easy. Make contacting you be easy for your customer. Make sure it's something that they see straight away. There's a few places that you can add this information to. You can have it as part of your logo. So maybe when you're thinking about creating your logo, of course you're going to put in your own personal, maybe graphic, your name. Why not put your contact info on there as well, a phone number, an email address. You can also put this information on your footer. Let's say you've chosen a template that provides a footer. Not all of our templates do have the footer feature, but if you do, why not utilize that footer feature to put your name and your contact information, your email address, other ways that your customers can contact you. It's a great way for your customers to see this information straight from the get-go while coming to your site. And of course, we give you the contact page with the contact form on it. Why not utilize that page to include all your contact info as well? If you think about your customers and their thought process when they're coming to your site, you go into your contact page would be the obvious choice to find out your name and number. So a lot of times we'll see our contact page. We'll have the form there for your customer to fill out, but no information in regards to how else they can contact you. Put your phone number in there, put your email address in there. It's a great way to utilize that feature. And since I did hop through a couple of these features, the footer and the contact page, I'm going to show you in the control panel where you can add these. And let me just hop over there very quickly to our control panel. And you'll find these right in the web pages portion of the Flash and HTML website, and also in the web page portion in the Site Builder website part of your store or your blog. You'll see here is the Contact Us page. You have the ability to add some images to it. And if you go to Details and Text Content, that's where you can put a phone number. Now let's see here. I have a lot of work to do. I have my phone number in here, but not much else. I need to go ahead and put my email address in here and any other viable information that might be great for my customers to contact me with. Perhaps I want to put directions to my studio in here. This is all a great place to put that information. If you want to put that contact information into your footer text, you would do that by going to the settings icon in your Flash HTML control panel and clicking on header and footer settings. The current template that I'm using does not have a footer setting in it, but if it did, it would be right here, and I could go ahead and put in my email address, my phone number, and things like that. Now, you may be using a template like me, and you're not able to utilize that footer setting. So what can you do? Well, perhaps you are using a background for your website. Why not put that contact information right on the background before you upload it? That way it can be seen at the bottom of your website just like a footer would be, and it's available to your customers to see your contact information from the get-go. So that's tip number one. Make sure that your name and your contact information is easy for your customers to see. I do have an example here. It's miawhitmerphotography.co.uk, and I just really love her website so much because right here on the bottom where she has uploaded her logo, she has put her phone number and her email address. It's all part of her logo. It's right there. You can't miss it. Your customers know your name and how to contact you, and I think she's done a really great example. If you want to look at her site, again, she's at miawhitmerphotography.co.uk. So on to the number two, you want to upload a logo. Well, why would you want to use a logo? Well, we do have header settings on our websites that are provided for you. So if, let's say that you don't have time to make a logo yet, or you haven't thought about how you want to present yourself, you're absolutely welcome to use that header setting. But why not create a graphic representation of yourself? You want to go ahead and create one that's going to show off your personality and your style. You can do this with Photoshop or other easy-to-use online resources. We had a webinar about a month ago talking about free online resources where you could create a logo online and then just upload it, and it's all for free. Do you have creative friends? Do you have friends that already know how to use Photoshop or maybe are graphic designers? Maybe barter with them. Tell them that you'll do some photography for them, and in turn they'll make a logo for you. Utilize those contacts. It's a really great resource for you. You also want to incorporate colors into your logo that represent who you are and the themes of the work you do. So if you do more editorial work, you don't maybe want to go with really bright colors. Or let's say you are a children's photographer, then bright colors may be definitely the way to go. I do have a couple of examples here of really well done logos. And the first one I like is Emily Lehman. Obviously from the get-go, from her splash intro, you can tell she does baby photography. But of course, she's utilized the colors in her website also into her logo. She's done a great job. It's very whimsical with the flowers and the birds. It just really kind of lets you see who she is from the get-go. It just displays her personality from the forefront. And you can go to her website. She's at emilylehmanphotography.com. And if you want to check out her logo a little closer. Another logo that I really like is katrinaleephotography.com. And I love her logo because it just sets a standard. So this is her splash intro. You can see her logo from the get-go. It's maybe a little flourish with her name that maybe she drew herself. The reason why I like it so much is she's setting a standard of her style. You saw in her splash intro she had a logo, and now on her website, very simple. Her colors are all represented. You can see that she is a simple, minimalist kind of photographer, and you see that within her logo. So remember to add a logo. You'll be surprised how much of your marketing of who you are as a photographer when you're selling yourself can come across just from your logo. Take advantage of the fact that we let you have your own logo and throw one up there. You'll see a great response to it. And again, it just kind of gives your personality to your customers from the beginning. So that's number 2, add a logo. Number 3, easy navigation. Make the navigation of your website easy for your customers to get to where they need to go. Make it quick and efficient. So a lot of times you might have a feeling of your website. Maybe you're doing wedding planning and you think of yourself as a cursive kind of gal. Sometimes, though, cursive isn't the best kind of font for a menu. So think about font types and sizes that are easy to read. Sometimes if you have a really squirrely kind of font, when it's too small to fit up on that menu bar, it just is not readable. So please keep that in mind when you are picking out font types and sizes, that they are easy to read. Contrasting the colors of the font is a great way to make them stand out. So make sure that if you have a black backdrop, you're not using something that's too dark against it. No dark purples or anything. Get a white in there, get a cream, something that's going to contrast and really stand out, making it easy for your customers to get to where they need to easily on your website. Also, utilize those drop-down menus that we provide for you to make your menu clean. Sometimes you're going to notice especially on some of our newer templates, that if you have too many menu items, you almost have to scroll to see all of them. That's not always the most proficient way to use that menu portion, and your customers might get confused. So why not use a drop-down menu instead and put some of those menu items into a drop-down, make it easy for your customers to utilize them. A couple of the examples of great navigation that I like is Jennifer Ferris's site. You can find her at jenniferferris.com. So her menu items down here at the bottom, they're very simple. They're in an easy to read large font. Also, you can see that she's created them so that they contrast very nicely with her background. So some people might consider her background maybe a little busy, but because of the way she's created all of her menu items and, of course, her logo at the top, you can read everything very, very easily. When you click on galleries, instead of her having all of her galleries listed, she has them set to a drop-down menu, very easily to read. And then also another thing to think about is when you're doing the rollover, this is another color that you can adjust within your color picker. Take advantage of remembering that when you roll over it, you still have to have that contrasting color, otherwise you're going to have the same thing happen. So remember, a nice large font, easy to read, and contrasting colors. Another website I really like who has a really great navigation is artarchitecturephotography.com. They're utilizing the Milan template here, and they have it's just a beautiful site. Again, they're using a dark background, which may make some menu items hard to read. But the way that they've created their menus is with the color shifting that they're utilizing, is it makes them still easy to read. They're in a nice size font, a good font that's easy to read, and then when you click on them, it's nice and contrasting. So you see that they're still coming across as a corporate feel with the coloring that they're using, without having to use bright colors and things like that. So it is able to use, you are able to use dark colors and still have a great navigable website. All right, so that's tip number 3. Have easy navigation for your customers. Tip number 4, choose a branding color. Now, we have noticed that a lot of customers who maybe are utilizing our websites, our blog, and our store are not bringing continuity to their site, and they're making them all look a little different. Why not bring that continuity to your site by using colors from your logo and just using that all through each one of your sites? This is going to create a familiarity and a uniformity between all of your sites. It's definitely going to show your personality, especially if your logo is something that really shows off who you are. And we always like to suggest using neutrals with a pop of your branding color to really help it stand out. So using those neutrals are really going to create the branding color. It's just going to make it stand out and showcase it. So let's say you love using a cornflower blue. It's who you are. You have it on all of your business cards and in your logo. Put that against a nice darker neutral, and it's going to really show that color to be significant of who you are. Now, next week, we're going to do a whole webinar on color theory. So if you are curious about how you might be able to bring colors from what you do to your website to work along with our templates, please tune in next Thursday for that. You're going to really like that a lot. So really great example of some neat ways to show to bring those colors within your website is Karen Smith. You can find, this is her store site. You can find her store site at store.karensmith.com.au. And the reason why I picked her, for example, let's go ahead and refresh this so that her background shows awesome. The reason why I used her, for example, is because she kind of has a quirky logo. She's using black and this really cool pink color. But you see that she has it in there in her logo, and then she utilizes it within her background with this brick theme. But yet, within her website, it's still very easy to read. She's using neutrals of white and black with just pops of this hot pink color that is, her logo is who she is. It's her trademark color. So this is a really fantastic way of utilizing colors that show who you are personally, and still utilizing that within these neutrals to make it easy for your customers to find out where they're going, and make it easy for them to read. So if she was using a lot of pinks and blacks in here, it might get really hard on the eyes, especially on this portion here where you're reading. So having that white background with just pops of pink, great idea. Now, there are always exceptions to the rule, and the one that I always like to show off is BettyLaurentPhotography.com. And the reason why I say Betty is the exception to the rule is because she has got the bright color thing down on her site. She just really knows what she's doing. So she's utilizing all these different colors of the rainbow within her logo, and then she brings it into her website. Her background is a really cool blue color. She utilizes really neat color shifting within her sites. She's got this really cool hot pink that's also from her logo. She's got a green line here, and all her accent marks are also in that same green. So there's always that exception, but if you see how Betty has done this, she's done it in a really smart way. Her navigation is very easy to read. Her colors aren't obnoxious. So you can really do this in an awesome way. So if this is your sort of website, you're a sunny kind of photographer, you do a lot of babies, a lot of happy couples, a lot of bright sunlight, then go for it. Bring those bright colors in there. Just remember to make it easy for your customers to navigate. So that's number 4, your branding color. Pick a branding color and use it. Tip 5, Streamline portfolio. This is one that I really like to talk about with our customers because sometimes this is the one that we kind of see abused the most. You always want to show your best work in your website, the best work that truly represents who you are as a business or an artist or just a person. So homepages. Think about when you go to somebody's website. How long do you spend on their webpage or their homepage? Probably not very long. So why not put the 8 to 10 best images on that site? Grab your customer's attention, but don't, if you have tons of images on there, chances are they're not going to see all of them because they've already navigated to another portion of your website. So take advantage of that, show, 8 to 10 really awesome images, and then use your galleries to show the other best images that you have. We recommend galleries should have 14 to 20 images, and that's just so that you don't overwhelm your customer. Sometimes it's really hard to pick which images you want to show on your website because they're all your babies, they're all your art. You don't want to pick. But showing your best work is really the best way to turn that visitor into a sale, and that is really the goal of any website. So utilize those galleries, have as many as you want, but don't put too many images in them. Just show your best work in them. And then, of course, update your images frequently. Customers will keep coming back to your site if they know they're always going to see current images. So sometimes people might come to your site and the first 5 images are exactly the same. They're going to go ahead and move on. But if they know they can come to your site and see new images all the time, well, then they're more than likely to come back even more. And then, again, you have that opportunity again from about turning a visitor into a sale. An example I really like a lot is Elizabeth Etienne. You can find her site at elizabethetienne.com. And the reason why I like her site is because she's utilized her homepage as a really cool way to showcase her work with collages. So she only has about 10 images here, but first of all, she's using it to help her customers see her style. She's also using it to tell a little bit about herself, do a little marketing right on here. Again, you see style images. She puts on other accolades that she's had and things like that, and then that's it. Then she, is encouraging you to go check out other stuff on her site, like her galleries. So I think she's done a really great job of really showcasing her best work within just a few images, and really that's the way to kind of get your customers' attention. So that is tip number 5, Streamline portfolio. Tip number 6, a comprehensive information or bio page. So if you think about what your website is all about, it's about selling you. So you are your product, sell yourself. Use that page to really talk about yourself, tell your inspirations, talk about the education you've done. Maybe you have a philosophy that you work by. Use that page to really bring that out to your customers. One thing that we always like to suggest too is just to keep it to one page. Now you know that our information pages will allow you to have like a scroll bar on there, but sometimes people might find that hard to use. They might find that they don't want to read anything past one page. So if you can utilize that page, that first one page before your customer has to scroll. Tell a little story about yourself, make it comprehensive, but at the same time brief. It's really going to have more of an impact to your customer. And then please add a picture of you. You would be surprised how many websites we've seen that does not have a picture of the artist on there at all. And you might say, I don't want a picture of me on there. I get that. I don't always want a picture of myself on stuff. However, adding a pic of you is going to show your customer, it's almost going to give them an added little inspiration to use you. You know, sometimes when you see somebody face to face, you can see a kindness in their eyes or maybe a zany expression that they're giving. You're going to be really surprised how much of an effect that is going to have on your customer. I really like Helene Dujardin's site, and you can find her at helenedujardin.com. And the reason why I like her bio page is because when she talks about herself, she's very quick about it. She just tells a little bit about where she's from, what her specialties are, and where she's been. And then a really neat picture of herself doing her work. You know, so this is a really cool, comprehensive bio page. And it helps you find out where she is and what she does and what her inspirations are. Very clean, very quick to the point. So that is tip number 6, a comprehensive information and bio page. Tip number 7, use social media. So utilizing and prominently displaying your social media is so important. So you might be saying, who isn't using Facebook or a blog these days? You're right. Everybody's using it. So why not take advantage of what your website allows you to use, has to offer in regards to social media? We have the icon bank that you can add the little icons across the bottom or the top of your site. You can use external links to have somebody go straight to your blog when they click on the word blog on your menu item. Also, test these links and make sure they work. You'd also be surprised how many of these links maybe are wrong. Maybe you've gotten the address of your Facebook page and you didn't check it to make sure that is your Facebook page or that it actually goes to a Facebook. After you put those in there, go ahead and click on that button and make sure it goes where you want them to. I will hop into our control panel really quickly just to show you how to add those icons. And you'll do that again in the Flash HTML website. You'll do that under the settings icon. And also in our store and blog sites, you'll go to the site builder portion and then go to settings, and then you'll see an icon bank there as well. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the settings in your Flash HTML, you're going to see your icon settings. All you have to do there is click on Add an Icon, pick whichever icon you want. Make sure you have the correct URL to your social media page. So if it's Twitter, make sure you have the right @ address and things like that. A lot of people ask what tooltip is. So this is a really cool thing. Just like right now when I'm hovering over this Facebook icon, a little box pops up that says Facebook. That's the tooltip. So if you want to add a tooltip to your Facebook icon, you can add it here. It could just be simply the word Facebook. It could be like me. It could be add me as a friend. It could be whatever you want it to say. But that's what a tooltip is. Once you add it, it'll show up at the bottom of your template. A lot of people also don't realize that we have icon color settings here. You can use the default color, which is going to be a monochrome color at the bottom of your site, and when you hover over it with your mouse, it'll go to the original icon colors. You can grayscale it out for the whole time, or you can use the original icon color. So let's say you have a dark color website, but you always want that little blue Facebook page shown there. Make sure that you select original icon colors and update that setting. It'll always stay blue that way. All right, so that is point number 7. Oh, I did want to show you this example. The example is tiffanyarcherfitness.com. And the reason why I like her site is because her social media is very prominent here down at the bottom. And she's also using the original icon colors. And then when you hop over it, she has all of her little tooltips set. So, and again, if you want to take a look at this, this is tiffanyarcherfitness.com. She also has some stuff up here where she's using an external link, or actually this is an embedded link to show her tweets. So this is another thing that would be a really cool thing to add to your site. It's just an embedded link where she put a little widget that shows her tweets. So if that's something that you'd like to add to your site, give us a call here. We'll be happy to help you on that. So that is point 7, social media. Next, we are going to talk a little bit about some basic SEO. The basic SEO is going to help you have your SEO start on your site right away. When you talk about SEO, it can get very overwhelming. Search engine optimization is one of the things that are the most important with people's websites. So why not have your site start working for you from the get-go? Now, we're not talking about adding a lot of going really deep into SEO today. That's another webinar. But just putting in a website title, a web description, and basic keywords under the search engine boxes in your control panel is really going to help you. So that very first second when you hit publish, it's going to submit that sitemap with all that information from your site from the get-go. It's going to be a really great utilization for you. Another thing that we always like to mention to our customers is indexing your flash site. So here's an example of what our SEO page looks like, our search engines page in your control panel. So your website title, you're going to put that in here. Now, if you think about what the website title is in your SEO, it's going to be just like when you are doing a Google search. So that very first line is the website title. So whatever you would like to be as the first line or the link of the website, of your website listing in Google or Bing or whichever search engine, that's what the website title is. So that's what you'll add first. The website description is going to be 2 or 3 descriptive sentences about who you are. If you think again, if you go back to that Google listing, this is going to be the 2 sentences under the link, and that's what you're going to add here. And then our website keywords. These are going to be all the words that we would want our website to come up under. We want to separate them with a comma and a space. So these might be things that you have to think about. What I recommend is at least getting something in there before you hit publish for the first time, or if you've already published, go ahead and put some stuff in there just to start working for you in regards to search engine if you haven't yet. The last step that I always like to show people is the search engine indexing. If you are going to utilize any boxes on this page, so if you are going to utilize the website, the description, or the keywords, you always want to make sure that your flash site is indexed. Now that might seem like it doesn't make sense because everybody thinks that HTML has to be indexed, but these boxes are all referencing your flash site. So if you do not have your flash site indexed, this information is not going to be referenced towards your website. So always remember, go in there and make sure that if you've done any work to these 3 boxes, that you are indexing your flash site. Of course, you can always call us here and tweak later. So once you've submitted your site, but you know that you have more SEO work to do, give us a call here. And one of the PhotoBiz SEO specialists will be happy to chat with you and get you going with your SEO. And that was tip number 8, some basic SEO. So now we're on to tip number 9, an HTML mirror. Why is this important? Well, you want to make your site accessible on every device. We are having people call us now, oh, people are trying to look at my website on an iPad and they just can't see it. An HTML mirror will fix that. Now, we also have mobile mirrors. Mobile mirrors are to be used, can only be used on phones. The reason why I like to recommend an HTML mirror specifically is because this will work on any non-flash device. So we have on iPads, on iPhones, on Blackberries. It's going to give the look of your website. Now, the mobile mirrors are an awesome product as well. That's going to give more of an app-like look to your website. But the HTML mirror is really going to make your site accessible on every single device, and since more people are using things like tablets and iPads and those sort of devices, you're going to really see that it's utilized, that HTML mirror is going to be utilized more and more. As of today, we have about 20 templates to choose from. That we're hoping that's going to change real soon. So keep your eye out on our blog and our Facebook page in regards to our HTML templates. Also, we think that customizing your HTML to look like your Flash is a great idea for continuity and branding. So here are some really cool examples about that. If you go to hiramtrio.com, I really like his website. It's really great. He is using the Milan template. And on this template, it looks really great. It looks really fantastic. But when we bring up his HTML site, it looks very similar. So he has chosen a template for his Flash site that has a matching HTML site. So no matter which version, if his customers are coming to his site on an iPad, on a computer, whatever, they're still getting the same experience. They are still getting the same look, the same images, his logo's in the same place, his colors are looking the same. This is a great experience for his customers. They're always going to get the same thing no matter how they're visiting his site. So utilize an HTML mirror. It's only going to make your site more accessible to your customers. It's only going to make you more accessible to them. Now, you don't always have the ability to have an HTML mirror that looks like your Flash, and we do get that call a lot too. Oh, I'm using Runway, and you don't have an HTML mirror. It's true. However, you can choose an HTML mirror and make it look like your Flash by using things like your color and your background and things like that. So, for example, IanWhite.com. Ian's site's really cool. He's utilizing one of our full screen templates. This is not something that we have in the HTML side. So what has he done? Let's see here. We bring up his site. Here's his HTML site. You're still getting the same feeling as you did from the Flash site. You're still seeing the reds and the creams and the black. The images are the same. The information is the same. He has his stuff in the same place. It's just it's in the HTML version, so like now his customers can see his site no matter how they're visiting him. They're going to see all the same information and they're going to get the same feel. So utilizing an HTML mirror is just going to help you in the long run, and we really do recommend hopping on the HTML mirror train. You're not going to be sorry, and when those new templates come out, you're really going to like them a lot. And so that's number 9, adding an HTML mirror. And the final tip that we have for every website is customizations. Our templates have so many great customization features that will just help your website stand out. Take advantage of them. We have things like color shifting. You can add captions to your images. You can create a background and upload it so that you have the same background on all of your sites. So if you have a store with us and a blog and a website, you can have the same background on all 3 of them and really just have that continuity between all of your sites. It's really great for your customers. It brings a united front, and they know that they're always at the same place. So it's a really cool feature. Take advantage of it. Color shifting is a really cool feature, and I really like to show off this website when we're talking about color shifting. This is Sugar Belle Cakes. You can find her at sugarbellcakes.ca. And I just really like how she's utilized the color shifting. It brings a little bit of whimsy to her product. Obviously, she makes cakes. It's beautiful, and it adds a little added oomph to her site that she might not have gotten otherwise. So you can utilize things like color shifting, and you'll be surprised how much of a uniqueness it gives your site. Another site I really like that uses some of our customizations is mockingbirdbayresort.com. I like this site a lot because they do a great job of using our caption feature. They almost tell like a little story when you come and visit your site with the captions. It talks a little bit about what they do and what you can do while you're visiting their resort. I think it's a really cool feature. You'll notice that they're also using the color shifting here as well. So they're using both products, both customizations within their Flash site. Take advantage of this. This is just a neat thing that you can add that will make it very special for your site, very unique. And then, of course, we have the background. So let me show you a neat example of that. So this is Trish, and this is her wedding site. And Trish has utilized this really cool bouquet and background, and it just kind of gives her site a little uniqueness. It's a really cool customization that also brings identity and personality to her site. Utilizing this is just a great way to bring out who you are within the site as well. So you have your images that will show who you are as far as your art and things like that. But maybe you don't like any of the backgrounds that we have, or you don't want just a plain color. Why not utilize those awesome Photoshop skills you have and create a really neat background for your site? And I'm going to go ahead and hop into our control panel real quick so I can show you how to add these features as well. Oops. There we go. Oops. There we are. All right, so the background feature is right here again within the settings icon of your Flash HTML. We have just added a bunch of new backgrounds, and they're really cool. Some of them are transparent. If you are in the store or the blog, we have a lot of transparent backgrounds, and we have a lot of visual backgrounds in the Flash and HTML sites. And I believe these right here are all brand new today, so that's really cool. We added these just last week, the blue dandelion, the blue-brown gradient, or I guess 2 weeks ago, and the carbon fiber, and now the green linen header, all these linen headers and the watercolors, that's all brand new. So we're constantly adding to these as well. So if you don't see something you like, maybe stick around a little while, maybe you will see something you like. But if you don't, take advantage of uploading your own. You can do that right here. You'll see that you have the ability just to browse and upload an image straight from your computer. Make sure that the dimensions of it are 1500 by 865 so that it fills up the screen. Now, if you do want to utilize things like color shifting or captions, you can do that right within the web pages and right in the image itself. So, for example, if I want to add color shifting to this image, all I have to do is open up the image, select color, and I'm going to get a little color picker here, a little color dropper. I just pick the color that I would like to shift, and I click on it. You'll know it's been selected because this bottom box here will change the color. So if I like that green in her eye, I can just, there it is. I can choose that as my color instead. Really easy. You just update that, and it's good to go. Perhaps I want to add a caption to this. Maybe I want to talk a little bit about who this model is, or some sort of effect that I did on this image. I can add the caption straight from the image as well. You can only have a caption that's maximum of 100 characters. So there's no stories to tell here, but if you want to add maybe a title or just a little blurb, this is the place to do it. So take advantage of these customizations. They're really going to help your site be unique and stand out. And really, it is really one of the things that we see not utilized enough with our PhotoBiz sites. We think that these are really cool features, and unfortunately, a lot of our customers don't take advantage of them. So that's why I thought I would mention them today. So those are the 10 things that every website, should have. And so if you guys have any questions in regards to anything I went over today, I would be more than happy to answer them. All you have to do is write a little question in the little question box that you have in the webinar software, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. And I'll just take a second. If you have any questions, feel free to add them in there, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, I got a question here from Crystal. Crystal asked that she noticed in one of the websites that the menu font matched the font in the photographer's logo. Is that completely customizable? It is. Any aspect of our templates can have colors be adjusted. That's what our color picker is for. So let me hop into our control panel really quick, and I can show you how that was done. So here's our control panel. So first of all, you do want to kind of know the color number in your logo. So if you've created your logo yourself, chances are you do know what colors you've used. Or if you need to, you could probably go into Photoshop and find out what the hex number for that color is. Once you do find that, you'll want to go into your color picker. You can customize that color picker by clicking on Customize. And you'll see here all of the different aspects of the template are shown. So, for example, you were asking about the logo color, the font color in the menu. So we're going to go to the menu, and right here we see menu item text. So if I want to adjust that, I can do it two ways. I can pop in that hex color that I've already found out from my logo, or I can click on that box and find the color that I was looking for, something close to it. So that way you can utilize the same colors all through your website and have that continuity. Stacy wants to know how she can get an HTML mirror. Well, Stacy, you can get that straight from your control panel. All you have to do is you'll click on the extras icon in your control panel. You'll see here there's an option that says mirror sites. Now I've already have the HTML mirror, and I know so because up here where it shows my current site, it says I have a Flash, an HTML, and a mobile site. But if I hadn't purchased the mirror site, all the ones that I have available to me would be listed here. You can purchase it straight from here. Now once you do have your HTML mirror, after you've purchased it, you'll see that you'll be able to go to your templates, click on HTML, and choose your template. You'll also have the ability to go into the color picker and adjust the colors within that HTML template. So you can really customize that site to look a lot like your Flash, or for example, if you have one that already matches your Flash, you can just adjust the colors and you can give your customers that same experience. Rhonda wants to know how to find out if your Flash site has a mirror. Again, you can, if you wanted to wait to see if your Flash site has a mirror that matches, you can go to our corporate site. It shows all of our site, all of the different templates there in both Flash and HTML, and then you can kind of see it that way. And by what I mean by the corporate site is if you just go to photobiz.com and then go to products, you can see all of the different products that we offer. But again, if it doesn't have a matching mirror, it really doesn't matter. You can still pick another HTML mirror and adjust it with the coloring. Nancy, you were asking what the site was to download free ideas for logos. We don't really have a site that has free ideas for logos. However, a couple of webinars ago, we did talk about some free online options that will help you create your logo. So if you don't have Photoshop experience or things like that, then you can use one of those products. If you go to youtube.com/photobiz, you can search for that webinar, and it's a whole webinar just full of free online photo manipulation sites. Chelsea wants to know if I created an HTML mirror, will it automatically go to that on an iPad? Yes. PhotoBiz is really awesome. We have an automatic redirect. So we know, our system knows what kind of device your customer is visiting your site from. If you're on a computer that has Flash, it's automatically going to show your Flash site. But if they're coming on an iPad or maybe a non-Flash computer or a BlackBerry, then it's going to show your HTML mirror. Portia asks the difference between a logo and a header footer. So a logo, Portia, is going to be a graphic that you upload. That is something maybe that you've created as a PNG or a JPEG file that you've uploaded. that's going to go straight to your site. It's going to sit where the quote-unquote header goes. So if you don't have a logo uploaded, then you do have the ability to use our header footer settings, and you can just put your information in there instead. It's just going to come out as whatever global font you have chosen here. You'll see here that you have a whole, certain templates have a library of fonts to choose from. So whatever your global font is, that's how your header will be displayed if you do not have a logo. So right now, I don't have a header text displayed here because I have a logo associated with my site. But if I didn't, then I could just put PhotoBiz Jen's photography. And that's what's going to show up at the top of my site instead. Now, if I did have a footer setting, there would be a footer box here, but the template that I've chosen does not have a footer setting. Anne has a question, is it possible to match colors from a background in the background bank to use for fonts? You know, that's a great idea. There isn't a color picker or a color dropper within those backgrounds, but if you give us a call here, your friendly, passionate support team will be happy to find out that color for you, and we'll be happy to give you the hex number if you needed that. That's something that we could do for you pretty easy. So just give us a call here, 866-463-7620. We'll be happy to answer that question for you. If you're looking for a specific hex color, we can find it for you. Crystal asks if the actual font can be changed and customized. Now, we don't have the ability to have you upload your own font. So if you're using a certain font, unfortunately, you couldn't upload your own font. However, as I was mentioning before, some of our templates have a pretty wide range of font library here for you to choose from. You can just go through them and preview them and pick one that you really like. So that's really, as far as being customized, that's as far as what we have. We have this really great font bank, and you can adjust the colors of your fonts within the color picker. So that is, you do have that ability. So a couple of the other these questions that I'm getting are in regards to SEO. And because we're not getting really deep into that today, we'll be more than happy to have our SEO specialist call you. I'm going to go ahead and write down your names, those of you that have been asking me questions about SEO. We'll have somebody give you a call back, or please feel free to call us here on our passionate support line, 866-463-7620. We'll be happy to go a little deeper and give you some references in regards to SEO. RJ asks if we have a designer on staff that design logo. No, RJ, we don't do logos here or anything like that. You know, we would love to help you as much as possible, but as far as designing, unfortunately that's not anything that we do here. Thomas asks, how important is music on the website? Do most people just mute it? You know, Thomas, that's a fantastic question. We get that question a lot about music. Obviously, on our websites, we have a music library for you to choose from. You can also upload your own music. And a lot of people utilize it really great, and a lot of times it does bring a great aspect to your website. However, sometimes if you think about it, if you are, you want to think who your audience is. So if your audience is brides who maybe are coming to your site at work, or maybe somewhere that it's not appropriate to have music play without them knowing it, then maybe not have music on there. So sometimes what we'll see is some people are maybe surprised by the music, or they'll mute it very quickly because it's maybe it's playing in an inappropriate time. So you do want to think about your audience a lot when it comes to music. Now maybe you're just your audience is soccer moms who are at home a lot, and you want to play music behind their babies. That's something different, and that would be a great way to maybe utilize it. Maybe you're a record producer and this is your site and you want to show off some of your work because that's what you do, you make music. Then that's a great reason to have music on your site. So just think about your audience. All right, and we've had a couple of questions asking about when the webinar is going to be posted to YouTube, and that will be here in just a few days. It just takes a couple of days for the conversion and the upload. If you go to youtube.com/PhotoBiz, you'll be able to view all of our webinars. Feel free to hop in there and watch them over again. Again, in just a few days, this one will also be up there as well. And again, that's youtube.com/PhotoBiz. Are there any other questions? Any other questions? All right. Well, it has been, again, my pleasure today to chat with you a little bit about the 10 things every website should have. Please feel free to give us a call here on the Passionate Support line. We'll be more than happy to go over these things with you or chat with you about your website specifically, or maybe you want us to go through and see if we notice that anything's missing. We'd be more than happy to do that. We also have the PhotoBiz community for that. Feel free to hop into there. There's a Rate My Site thread on there that not only will we go in and to rate your site, but other customers, other photographers will be happy to do that as well. You'll be surprised the sort of feedback you get in. So again, it was my pleasure. Again, my name is Jennifer. I hope to hear from you all very soon, and we look forward to speaking with you all really soon. Thanks so much for joining us today, and you have a great day.